Oh, hi there. I hadn't had much of a chance to watch any news today. But I picked up a little bit earlier, an hour or two ago, I suppose. And I also watched this quick clip that was broadcast from CTV, for the most part, on the legalization of marijuana and how they've developed a device that can detect THC levels. I suppose in the mouth region somewhere along the gums or wherever it would accumulate as an individual would be smoking it. Um, and I think that is a good thing. Uh, this so-called expert that CTV was interviewing was saying it will never amount to the people who have been in car accidents because of alcohol, which is very true, and this is a very grateful thing. And that's because they will not get the opportunity to do such thing. Because historically, more car accidents have happened with an alcohol as a main contributing factor. That does not mean that marijuana gets a free pass. It doesn't mean that if it were to pick up momentum and become legalized as per discussed. That means it doesn't matter if historically it's not been as high a number. It really does say that it is a substance and therefore it needs to be monitored the exact same. And it's not the exact same product, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't get a free pass on road checks and other such testing of how much THC or marijuana levels are in a person's body as they're driving. And I have heard some people, say, "Oh, I have no problems driving, having smoked some marijuana or whatever." And that may be true for them, but in the eyes of the law, they can't take their word for it. And not only that, it's not the same with everyone. There are a lot of people out there that smoke marijuana that I wouldn't trust them with a push bike, let alone get them behind the wheels of a car. And it's like, we live in the 21st century, people, and marijuana is a substance, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. And no, you can't go driving around under the influence of marijuana and think that somehow, because historically alcohol has been a more of a contributing factor to car accidents as opposed to marijuana, that you'll get off with a slap on the wrist. No, it is a substance, and if you have exceeded whatever limit the government has decided is the maximum limit, then you are in violation of the law. And it doesn't matter if you feel as though you're just as good at driving a vehicle, or some people might even think they're better at driving a vehicle while they're high on marijuana. That is their opinion. Who knows? Yeah, but what I'm getting at is that it's not a free pass. It never has been in the past, and it most certainly isn't now. Uh, yeah, like, what more can you add to that? It still inhibits your ability to operate machinery properly. And I'm in full support of it being banned from the workplace, banned from driving, and that sort of thing. And then, unfortunately, it also brings care and control into the equation, which I don't have an opinion at this point in time. I have a tendency to not worry about such things because I don't drive. I'm allowed to drink alcohol, and it doesn't matter because I do not drive. Um, and the funny thing is, I wouldn't mind getting like a between the 70s and 90s Cadillac, um, keeping it in my garage as something cool to have rather than actually drive, especially with gas prices going out of control. So all that has to be taken into consideration, of course. Um, like I said in my last video, this isn't people think this isn't for some reason my web camera is seriously stuttering and hasn't done that before. Actually, coincidentally, my keyboard, uh, some of the letters on there are really stuttering as well. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, oh, there was a critical point I wanted to make about marijuana. Well, it's obvious. It's there's some backlash against it. Obviously, it's going to be a competitor against alcohol, and we're not having people, dig up history on alcohol and then use it to advance a marijuana agenda today. I mean, marijuana has its points in history where, there were things that were questionable about it. And as I said, it doesn't get a free pass because it's a different type of substance. No, it's whatever's wrong or whatever it does or whatever it could do depending on what Justin Trudeau's marijuana production creates. That all has to be factored in. And, we live in the now. We don't live in the past. So living in the now and preparing for the future are what people have to expect. So if somebody has smoked too much marijuana for, they should be penalized if they get behind the wheels of a vehicle. It's as simple as that. And that is the responsible thing to do. And, my advice for people who get uppity about that rule is go get a bicycle and make sure you're wearing a damned helmet. Okay, that's what I got to say. I'm not particularly broken up that, marijuana legislation has not gone through as well as people would like, or some people would like, because I happen to like alcohol. I don't like marijuana. I dislike marijuana. It's not suitable for me, and I don't want to pay more money for booze, as you may have noted in some of the other videos I've made. So anyway, I'm gonna finish this video up here. I noticed that interview by CTV, and essentially he was, I think he was a marijuana activist of some sort, or some sort of professor or something like that. I can't remember. I can't be bothered to remember, but he was trying to defend marijuana, but he couldn't really. Like, you can't defend a new substance by blaming an old one, in this instance, at very least. So, anyway, I will talk to you people later, and hopefully my web camera will stop glitching on me. Anyway, have a good one.